So good afternoon, Mr. Kalyan.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon.
So I have been going through your profile and I found that you have been working in the financial sector from last 25 years.
True.
And you have seen up and down of this industry, as well as because you will have your own kids. I come from academia. So I just want to know what kind of changes have happened in academia since you graduated and now. And what are those changes which are happening in the finance sector?
So let me start with something that I love, which is finance sector, and then I'll obviously talk about academia.
Which was great.
If I look at how the industry has evolved the last 2.5 decades, there has been increased understanding of two important aspects. One is digitization and financialization of savings. So digitization, where a lot of things that we consume and produced are offered and consumed as the case may be digitally, and increasing financialization, where people are, while then obviously the first love is gold and then real estate and the bank fixed deposits, but if I look at the trend more so post-COVID, where there was an increased emphasis on better user experience and wanting to do all on the click of the button drive, the tilt towards financial savings as opposed to physical savings or gold or real estate, that's actually gone up. So that, I think it's I would say gone up, but because it's an understatement. It's actually become the go-to option for a lot of people who have excess cash or excess money and who want to deploy and get them to make the money grow. So that is as far as the industry is concerned. So now when I look at the academia, the academic scene has covered some distance, but it's always going to be a challenging one because academia always has to do a lot of catching up to do because of the scale of technology change, scale of consumer preference changing, and most importantly, conditions which are beyond our control. So if you have these three complexities working in tandem at all points in time, then there's always going to be catch-up kind of the situation that always is going to prevail. So I don't think academia will be spot on all the time, but I think they're doing a great job in terms of catching.
Look, here on this perspective, there are different kind of university setups.
True.
One are regulated by a regulator where each 4 years the syllabus is going to change.
Cool.
And one are deemed to be universities, they have the autonomous power, so we can do changes. So from that space, from a deemed university space, from where I come, Thapar Institute of Engineering and Technology, from last 70 years, almost 7 decades now.
Yeah.
So there have been lots of changes which have been done. Primarily the reason was the demand from the industry. So let me cite one example, then we are going to correlate it what's happening and how it is happening.
Yeah.
Usually the students prefer to go for computer science. As of now, the same trend is going to continue for a few more years. Now, is it apt that an academic institute should start giving a degrees like Bachelor in Computer Science, Bachelor in Computer Science and Engineering, Bachelor in Software Engineering, Information Technology, AI, ML, you name it, they will have it. But if you look at their syllabus, there is no change primarily. There are 2-3 subjects which are going.
Absolutely.
So what we did almost 7 years, we went to industry and said that we will keep our degree as a base, but we will offer elective focused baskets in the industrial offered electives.
Oh, okay.
Like I'll cite one example. Our first collaboration was with Future First. So Future First is financial derivative company. And we found that from last half a decade, the companies were coming and they preferred computer guys, but they didn't have the domain knowledge to some extent. And when we collaborated with this company, they said that we are going to offer some subjects to them. So we evolved kind of a recipe where we'll offer 4 modules, and those modules will be called elective focus basket. So we started with the Future First, 4 such subjects, and from financial derivatives, from how the trading happens and all that. And we found there was liking up for the students. this point of time, we have 12 such baskets running from the industry in a different area.
Yeah.
Now, do you think this is a good way of beginning some kind of a connect with the industry, or there's something else also need to be done?
Absolutely. No, Manindra, bang on. If I look at a directional view on what you just spoke about, directionally, you are on target of empowering students to be industry relevant. I think the one small addition, if I may, is apart from theoretical kind of an orientation, we should also insist on a practical application of the same outside the institute or the college.
No, so sorry to interrupt. When I'm saying collaboration with industry, it's not theoretical.
Yeah, okay.
There are two subjects where my computer science vocabulary are not good at.
Okay.
They will not know about trading. They will not know about what is happening in the financial derivative market. So those subjects are being taught by industry people.
Yeah.
So that kind of engagement has happened now.
That's wonderful.
So we have another basket which is conversational AI. This is happening with NVIDIA. We have robotics and AGI, again with NVIDIA. So we have in cybersecurity space with 5X. This is Israeli company.
Yeah.
They give a VMware kind of isolated environment. A student run their red team, blue team kind of a case. So those kind of interventions have happened.
Wonderful.
And going one step ahead, I want to know what other kind of a collaborative assignment can happen with industry. For example, like we have something which is called a part-time PhD program.
Yep.
So is it like that financial guy like you or your peers, they would be interested to do some kind of a PhD?
Maybe only.
It's not from just an academic capsule guy, but whatever you have learned in the industry so far, along with the academic supervisor, they can marry together and bring a good topic of a PhD.
Absolutely. Why should it be a one-way traffic from academia to industry? It should also be the other way around, because that's where mutual enrichment of both the academia and the industry happens.
Yes.
Typically, the expectation is that academia is solely responsible for creating students. जैसे हम हिंदी में कहते हैं पका कैंडिडेट मिल जाएगा, and industry will have a more soft hand holding, and then the student is expected to perform from month 3 or month 6 as the case may be. But yeah, it's a very interesting thought, Manindra, that you could do the reverse too. For example, I could be a good candidate for a part-time PhD in the sense that हमने सीखा है वो हार कर का सीखा है. No, 25 years,
no, the time to put it on back.
Go back, learn, get challenged. We do get challenged from our industry peers on an hourly basis, right? Because there is a new product that comes up, you're challenged. There is a new regulation that comes up, you're challenged. There are situations which are beyond your control, the way it is happening right now with wars and geopolitical risks. You're challenged every day. Now, given that, how are we equipped scholarically, apart from the practical experience, that can be a very interesting, deadly combination. So, yeah, and I think it's a win-win. It's an absolute win-win.
Now, another thing which I want to talk about is there are internships which are being offered to undergraduate students, to a postgraduate student in the industry. This is one thing. Another is some kind of a projects.
Yeah.
Collaborative project. Now, keeping these two things aside, if we want to do something like I want to offer a minor degree in financial.
Yeah.
So can industry and academia sit together and co-design a curricula so that it is beneficial in today's context?
Absolutely. In fact, we have been doing it. JM Group as such is pretty actively involved with IIM Indore. Yeah, in multiple ways. In fact, it's in our own interest from the industry perspective. It's in our own interest to ensure that the co-creation of curriculum happens in a manner that the student comes out completely relevant on day 1 or day 5 or day 10 as the case may be. That's a very interesting association that we can talk about, and as a group, we have been doing that. As I gave an example of IIM Indore, we've been doing that, and if that can only add to the collaboration and student readiness from getting absorbed perspective, why not? We more than be happy to support that kind of an initiative.
I think the last question which I want to ask about is this AI disruption. Now, definitely BFSI is getting disrupted by this. Now, what is going to happen to a fresh graduate, let's say having a small capsule of services, know-how in the curricula. But when he wants to come to the industry, already says, now I have AI odds available with AI.
Correct.
So what do you think how you will demystify a young mind that what should be my career path?
In fact, the demystification has to happen to a slightly old mind like us. The young mind is anyways getting equipped, but addressing your concern in a different form. See, AI is probably going to be as big a revolution as maybe internet or fire, right? If I look at how the industry has evolved 25, 30 years ago, when you had computers coming in the first time. I still remember as a kid going to the bank and having teller machines and tokens and waiting in the line to get your money. And I don't even remember the last time I have visited a bank branch in the last maybe 15, 17 years, right? So technology will always keep challenging the human intellect. And today, up to AI ka zamana hai, and AI is actually testing the natural intelligence of human being. But so long as students choose to remain relevant, there is an upskill required. As if I'm an 18-year-old kid today or a 20-year-old kid, the general perception is that given the huge amount of investments that's happening in AI, maybe the entry-level jobs might be in question. But for kids who actually can reskill themselves, I don't think that should be a problem, because as opposed to how our scholastic system worked 30 years back, 35 years back, when we were kids, we had a very static way of looking at knowledge. आपने जो भी पढ़ा है वो आपको करियर के 10 साल बाद भी चल जाता था. And then maybe for people who had the drive to grow, they would do the upskilling. Upskilling has to be on a daily basis. So what you learn today will actually become irrelevant or obsolete tomorrow.
So that means along with the base degree, they have to do some kind of a minor or major or reskilling for short modules of some kind of technology.
It has to be a daily effect.
Yeah.
Which means that in a 24-hour schedule, what effort am I putting as an 18-year-old, as a 20-year-old, as a 25-year-old? That is going to be the key. And I think there is enough noise happening on that front. While on one side, large tech companies wishing pink slips, which is quite unfortunate. But on the other side, if you see, there are people who have the willingness more than the ability to reskill and upskill. They are always going to be in demand.
Right.
They will never be out of fashion, primarily because they are going to keep pace with what's happening. Maybe with a slight delay, but that's okay. So long as the intent to upskill is continuous, right? They will always remain relevant. So I personally don't feel, I'm not saying AI is a fashionable statement. It is for real. No, right? It's about real. It's real. Why it is real and huge amounts of money are going into it for students specifically, where audience that we are trying to be relevant to right now. I think so long as they can remain relevant by upskilling, reskilling, forgetting what they have learned and maybe relearn, I think these are simple steps. I do so much of reading these days on AI. That's something that I haven't done. Initially, I would probably pick up books on derivatives and stuff like that, some complex financial subjects. But these days when I do a lot of reading, it's primarily on disruptions and stuff like that. So I think it's as much true, if not more, for people who are maybe 30 years young. That's the way I see it. Yeah,
good. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you. Nice. Thank you so much. Thank you.